Good morning, everybody. So I gotta do this kind of quickly because I had to go. Yeah, I just have to go. But I'm gonna start with this. That this one, obviously by the title, is all about sex. So if you don't want to hear what I had to say, or you don't want to hear about it, shut it off. Excuse me, because I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I think the church needs to stand up and talk more about it and not be so concerned to talk about it. That's my opinion. Anyways, so it's Proverbs 5. You read it. To me, it's generally geared towards men because it's talking about the adulterous woman and for men to stay away from her. So, verses 1 and 2, it says, "My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen well to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion and your lips may preserve knowledge." Verse 15, it says, "Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well." I think if by the title you guys could figure out what it's saying. 21 through 23, "For a man's ways are in full view of the Lord, and he examines all his paths." Ouch. Like if I sit here and think about some things I've done, not sex-wise, even that-wise. Anyways, it's like scary. Like you have to remember, like God knows everything, sees everything. Well, he knows the way beforehand anyway, so whatever. "The evil deeds of a wicked man ensnare him. The cords of his sin hold him fast." Like cords, for some reason I'm thinking of the cords on curtains. Probably like old time curtains, like when I was a kid or something, or like yeah, like if you went to a motel and you'd had to do like this to make the curtains move. That's the cords I'm thinking of for some reason. And it says those cords of his sin hold him fast. Like that to me is wow. Like wow. "He will die for lack of discipline, led astray by his own great folly." All right, so here we go. So you've already been pre-warned. "What was lacking in your sexual education as a youth?" All right, so for one, I'll just tell you, I don't know, was lacking so much. But one, my parents never said nothing to me about it. Nothing. And two, I had to learn about it from a health class. And actually, I probably learned more from other kids my age than anything, to be honest with you. So what does that say? That's scary, huh? But the thing that was lacking to me was God. Nothing was taught to me about how the word of God is in relation to sex. We weren't going to church, so what can you expect? Can you expect that to happen? No. But I wish someone at some point would have taught to me, because this is what I say. I say it's better to not have tasted than to taste and have to go without or to contain. It's hard when you have done something that satisfies, makes you feel good, and then you shouldn't do it, can't have it, don't do it, whatever. That's my opinion. So I don't mind sharing this. A lot of people will probably be like, oh, whatever. I don't care. I don't mind sharing this. So I was 15 the first time I had sex. So like I'm gonna be 3.5 years shy being 45. So that's 30 years. Wow, that's a long time. Anyways, so if someone had taught me, that you should save this for your husband, because it was my understanding if I loved someone that I should do that, So if someone would have taught me, how special it is and how it can just totally emotionally destroy you, and to save it for your husband, being the fact that had never done it, it would have helped me enormously, to not do it. Even now, knowing that fact, that you should save it for your husband, and sorry, I'm thinking, that it's something special, that it's something that should be contained in marriage. It's still hard. Like it's hard for me, honestly, because I think probably a huge number one reason why I'm single is because most men are just interested in having sex. Like literally, like they are. They're not interested and trying to have a relationship or anything like that. They just want to have sex, like, period. Let's just have a sexual relationship for a while. I mean, yeah, sure, they'll go out and do things or whatever like that, but bottom line is they just want to have sex. And then when they're finished, and they find someone different, then they just move on. So that's pretty much a huge number one reason why I'm single. Yeah, definitely. And I would say yet to have found someone who I believe God has said is the one. So I actually do believe one person, but I don't know. I think I'm wrong now. I don't even have a clue. So anyways, not about me. Point is, a good thing to watch on a pastor that's preached about sex is Pastor Stephen. Do I remember what the title is? I do not. But I remember when I first started going to Elevation in Charlotte, I asked Pastor Jonathan there, like XYZ, how does the church feel about speaking in tongues? How does the church feel, about sex? How does the church feel about gay people? How does the church feel, because I wanted to know, like, before I start going here, like, I want to know what this church is about. So he told me to go find Pastor Stephen's messages on, I want to say it was like marriage or something. I don't know, but it talked about it. And the way Pastor Stephen, did the message on sex was totally awesome, about keeping it between one man, one woman in marriage, it was totally awesome. So I don't know, kind of Google it, search for it. You'll find it, I'm sure. And maybe I'll try and find it and I'll try and post it because it was really good. Second question, what causes a man to think the grass is greener on the other side? And this is what I said, a lot of things. And I said, how they say the perfect storm? That's what it takes. Excuse me. Men don't have a tendency to think a lot with their brains when it comes to women. That's true. And the devil sets up a trap to ultimately kill, steal, and destroy everyone in the situation, because that means not only the husband, it not only means the wife, it means the person that he's cheating with, it means their children, it means any of the family members. So there's a lot of people involved in the enemy, doing this, I'll say, plot, and to kill, steal, and destroy all the people involved. It's rough, and it carries on to the next generation and the next generation. But to me, I said it's a heart thing when it boils down to it, because like I said, it has to be the perfect storm for one, in my opinion, speaking from knowledge, not from doing it, but having it been done to me. Yeah. So it has to be the perfect storm. What has that person been through in their childhood? What is that person struggling with? Do they have a sexual addiction? Are they addicted to porn? What have they been through in life? What have they been taught about sex? What are their feelings? What is their relationship with God? Like, truly, what is their relationship with God? Do they just, get up and go to church every day? Or do they really, like, have a relationship with God? Because you can go to church all you want to go to church. Not that I'm knocking church, but you have to have that personal relationship with God. You can't just get up and go to church and then, yeah, that's good, fine, well done. Then you expect, oh, yeah, I'm a Christian. Or you say, yeah, I'm a Christian. And then for you to actually carry through and do the actions of a Christian is another thing. So you have to have that personal relationship with God. And then after that, it boils down to a heart thing. That's what I said. Because temptation can be all around us. It's what you choose to do, and if the man feels like he's not, I guess, appreciated, or the woman's not doing enough for him, and then here comes this little tramp, and I'm saying it like that, so God forgive me, but here comes this little tramp willing to give up everything for nothing. There you go, the perfect storm, and men, like I said, they don't have a tendency to think with their brains when it comes to women. Like, they just don't. They have to guard their heart. They have to protect their heart. They have to have that personal relationship with God in order to avoid the perfect storm, in order to avoid the devil's trap, and honestly, like, I can sit here and say all these things about men are so horrible and they're just so stupid and, whatever. But actually, I have one of our former governors, Sanford, when it all came out about him having an affair, like, I actually had a heart towards the man. Like, I actually I felt bad for him because it's hard for men, you know, like I said, these trampy little women wearing barely next to nothing. I mean, men are visual people, you know what I'm saying? So wearing next to nothing and just like, oh, I'll give it to you, I'll give it to you. I mean, you can blink and they'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Especially nowadays. And like I said, I pre-warned you before you watch this. I don't think I'm that bad or whatever, but I'm just stating the truth. But so they'll give it up like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And men, you know, are sexual creatures. Like they just are. More so than women, I think. The majority, I'll say. Because women can have a tendency to be the same way. I like sex. Who doesn't? I mean, I'm just being real. Um, that probably sounded horrible. I don't know. But I mean, who doesn't? I mean, if you've had it, you enjoy it. I mean, God made it pleasurable for a reason, you know, but he made it pleasurable to be contained in marriage, you know, and if you watch the video of Pastor Stephen, he says that. All right, so I think I'm done with that. I'm gonna move on to the next question. Are wives tempted by the same things as husbands? And this is from one speaking. I said yes and no. Are women tempted? Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Women are tempted. But I said it's more on an emotional level, you know, because usually I'll say, tendency to say, if it's a normal woman, it's not all about sex. I mean, yes, we enjoy sex too, but it's not all about sex. It's about that emotional connection. It's about that women want to feel loved and cared for. And I said, of course, it could be different nowadays, but I think when it boils down to it, when it gets down to it, even the women that are willing to cheat with guys, I think it's because they want that love and they want that attention, and they, you know, and they figure if they have sex with them, they're getting that love and they're getting that attention. So yeah, definitely. Women can be tempted. It's just in a different way, I think, for me. In my opinion. My opinion, it's a different way. And I just said, women want to be cared for. They want to know they're special. They want to know they're a treasure or whatever, you know. And that man is going to say whatever, do whatever to that woman to get what he wants from that woman. And I'm not saying all men or whatever. I'm just giving an example. For that woman to have sex with him, I guess. And for me, I'm not going to leave myself out. Like, I can give examples, one from work and one from church. Not my current church, not my former church way long time ago. An example. So I actually had just had my youngest son, and my husband at the time was like nowhere to be found. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm just stating facts. Really, I am, because it's like the perfect storm, like I said. So he was never around. So I just had my youngest son. So I had my oldest son, my middle son, and my youngest son. So my oldest son was, I think, 10. I don't know. And then the middle one was 6, 4, 5, 4, 4. Okay, so my oldest couldn't have been 10. Lord have mercy, whatever. They were all kind of young. Anyways. And I had the youngest, and there was a guy at the church. And like I said, this is not the church now, not the former church. Church is way long ago. He wasn't hitting on me or anything like that. So I just want to make that clear. He was just like there for me emotionally, like whatever I needed, like he was there. Like, you know, like if we had a church function, you know, and I'm sitting here struggling with 3 kids and no one's around to help me. And he's like, oh, here, let me help you carry the baby. Here, let me do this for you. You know, and he became close. Well, I'm not going to say that. Cause that might tell people who it is. I don't know. Anyways. But I mean, he was a good, decent person. Was he married? He was married too. Yeah, he was a good, decent person. And it, like I said, he was just there, like emotionally, like we could talk. Like, not did we call on the phone and talk? Not like that. Like if we were at church, we talk. And like anytime we were at church, like he was there, like to help. You know, get the kids out the car, get you know whatever. Whenever there was a church function, like he was there to help me with the kids. You know, bring them food, bring me food, whatever. Like he was just there. You know, like that. So that very much attracted me to him. Very much. Did I want to have sex with him? No. But could it have at a point probably gotten there? I mean, I can't say, because I mean, it was like an emotional thing. Like, he was there for me, you know, to help me doing things that my husband at the time was not there, you know. So are women tempted? Heck yeah, they're tempted.